That's fascinating. I never see it, the DJ, like the DJing world is still like mystical to me. I didn't know that there was like that sounds like an incredibly difficult thing to do, to be able to connect rhythm and melody and be able to kind of
It took me a year.
dichotomy, and I have that.
So I was telling Richard when we were doing his interview that I found some of my very first attempts at mixing, and it's absolutely horrific.
Right.
And the concept is train wreck. So. Well. When two beats don't match up, but it's actually like I'm just tapping my hands here, but it's way worse when you have cymbals, you have claps, you have hi-hats and other things, and we use the term train wreck. So like you can tell when music is not being mixed at the right tempos, and if you think about also there's a drop in electronic music. So like there's typically like a rise in energy and then it drops, and then the beat will stop, but the melody will play and the energy continues and the beat drops and so forth. So like as a DJ, you have to kind of figure out how all that plays in for all the songs.
Right.
But that concept of being able to listen to two different tempos, that was a neural pathway that I literally, like a hammer and chisel through stone, dude. Bam, bam, bam. It took a year, and I know that my wife was, back then, girlfriend was like, she's like, just close the door. Just close the door. I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to hear it. Because it'd be the same songs, because I was, just trying to figure this stuff out. But when it clicked, I was like, oh my God. And one person gave me one piece of advice that helped me set the stage literally for the rest of my DJ career and phrasing, matching, and all that stuff. He literally said 32, listen to a cymbal, because the way electronic music is structured. He said, listen to a cymbal crash, count 32 beats, another cymbal crash, just match those. And I was just like, oh.
How interesting.
And I ran to my turntables and I was like, holy shit, I just started listening to other songs. It's like, oh my God, he's right. It's all structured like this. So it made it super easy.
There's patterns in music. I mean, they're like just like you have patterns in software. There are kind of these recognizable patterns that you can use and leverage.
Oh yeah. So when you're working on anything creative, you work on that iterative process. And like I said, there are patterns. Like ask Pat to talk about
Interesting.
The patterns in art and in life, and he could probably go on forever. Everything is patterns. That's what I was saying. For me, matching patterns was a gift, or recognizing patterns, because you can see it with software as well. Some of my biggest pain points was writing display drivers and audio drivers, but once I understood the patterns, it's like, oh, okay, this makes sense. So the patterns actually applied from anything from a low-level Arduino device all the way up to the desktop PC, which is way more complicated than this shitty little Arduino device. But all the concepts are all the same because programming is patterns.
Interesting.
So
it's kind of like solution. Hearing you talk about music, there were just so many parallels between like software architecting music, or like bringing things together and making them work.
Oh yeah. It is.
It's fascinating.
Well, yeah, I always get amazed with the people who do like multi-track mixing, who actually can like record a band or do studio mastering, because you see these massive racks, and I'm just like, how do you even hear all these things? After I hear a song a certain number of times, the volume, because of the way I'm trained, like I'm always increasing the volume. It's a DJ thing. You hit something that's an awesome note, the volume goes up. So at some point you walk out, your ears hurt. So I don't know how these people do mastering and like I said, record live bands. And some of the best songs, I think, are the most natural sounding because they have been recorded live.
Yes.
It's like microphone to the drum, microphone to the guitar, microphone to the singer, microphone to the whatever, pianist, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. And I knew this one guy. He had just bought a 32-track recorder. Okay, this is back when 32-track digital recording was done in a rack with hard drives, and like he spent thousands of dollars on this PC card rack combo thing. And I'm like, how do you mix all that stuff together? He's like, hey, just do it by ear. I'm like,
how?
Yeah, exactly. I can't hear it all,
Right.
Like, I'll have to reduce the volume. And one thing to be able to discern what's going on here, and he's got the mastery. So
wow.
I always thought, I was like, that's something I would love to do, but not a priority.
It's mastering is still like a dark art to me. Like,
Yeah.
because I have a different problem where if I keep listening to something, I can't stop my brain from turning it into background.
Oh,
So
earworms.
yes, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
can. And then, you try stepping away, listen to something else,
Yeah.
coming back. But after a while, your brain just wants to go into whatever it was thinking before. You
Yeah.
can't have any new thoughts about it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and when you're mixing something, you have to spend hours and hours listening to the same freaking thing,
And that's been my life the past few months. So we're working on
Yeah.
this new video game, and I'm trying to like I mentioned, trying to learn more about music theory. So
Right.
I've been working on chords. I'm like, this is awesome, but the chords keep I keep resolving down. And so I'm like, I have to understand how major chords work. So I started watching YouTubes, right?
Gotcha.
YouTubes. Oh my God.
All of the YouTubes.
All the YouTubes. So I started watching YouTube and videos that talk about just the basics, and now I'm starting to understand triads.
Okay.
The basic terminology and
Right.
keys, and I'm like, oh, this is why what I'm doing sounds like. But the concept of the earworm, it kills me. It absolutely kills me. And something happened recently. I think I want to say it was Saturday. I try not to work on the weekends, but sometimes, I love what I do, so kids are doing their own thing, the wife is doing her own thing. I'm like, rather than watch TV, I'm just going to go try to solve this problem. Got this thing stuck in my head, 4 chords, this progression going on in my head. And then my mind forks for some reason, and the chord progression changes, and I was like, must try. So I asked my wife, I was like, do you mind if I just go downstairs for like an hour? I got to try this. But it would not stop. It would not stop. Earworms, sorry. That's one of those things that I think it's a gift, but also a curse.
Oh, it is, yeah.
So I try to listen to something different to change it.
It's like coffee, like smelling coffee.
Oh, yeah.
To replenish, kind of refresh your
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, exactly.